Now we will tell you who Jack Crusher really is. Hi, welcome to Nerdiest Prime. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. We are reviewing every episode of Star Trek Picard, Season 3, and we are on Episode 7 called The Dominion. What did Alan think about this episode? Go, Alan.
It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as we've had so far. Yeah, because I felt like we're starting to spin our wheels a bit. There was a lot of good stuff. There was a lot of good moments, but some of the stuff did fall flat for me in this one, so we'll talk about that.
It's short and sweet. I like it. I agree with Alan. It felt like it was a self-contained episode that they just had to tack on to get to 10 episodes. I really didn't think it felt like there was too much going on. There was a little bit, but it could have been compressed. If there's one episode that you can skip out of this season, I bet it's this one.
I disagree totally with both of you. I thought the episode was really good. As good as all the other episodes. It's a different perspective. It was like their first bottle show, and I think what I liked about it is that bottle shows often can be really good, and then sometimes if they don't do them right, they can be really boring. But in this case, I thought they did it really good because we were getting to see Vadic's origins, and Amanda Plummer is great to watch. So what do we think about the reveal of her origins and who she is and all that sort of stuff?
I think we already knew that. I kind of just assumed that she was a changeling. I think the one thing that was interesting was that the creepy head that she's talking to is not a changeling. That dude is something else. And so it's like, what is that guy?
Really? You don't think he's a changeling?
No, because he clearly says,
yeah, he like looked down on changelings. If you listen to him talk,
yeah,
it's like you're not perfect. You're not, you're malleable or whatever he says there.
Your physiology is not as special or complex as you believe. You are by nature malleable.
The Geordi Data lore stuff was the best part of the episode. I actually felt, a little moved when Geordi says, that Data's death broke him and the memory rebuilt him, and it was a great moment. And having lore there, Brent Spiner's doing a great job switching back and forth. It actually felt like when they were all in the same room together, when Geordi was explaining, the problem with lore and Data fighting for dominance in the positronic brain or whatever, and Picard was there. It felt like a Next Generation episode for that moment. I was like, this feels like TNG right now. This feels like it could have been an episode of TNG where Lore and Data were fighting for control of his positronic brain.
I also think it's funny how Data's died so many times and they've brought him back so many times. I was counting the other day that I think he's died like 5 times already.
really? But they only acknowledge twice.
Well, he dies in Contagion. He dies in Time's Arrow. He dies in Nemesis. He dies in season 1 of Picard. I guess he's going to die now, and then that'll be the 5th time. And I forgot to mention that that moment of Tuvok at the beginning. What did you guys think about that?
That was the best scene in the whole show, in the whole episode. That scene was awesome.
Yeah,
that was so great, and I loved like the little twist where you're like, oh, he's not a changeling, and then she realizes that he is, and the camera pushes in really suddenly, and the music starts blurring up. You're like, oh, he is a changeling. Awesome.
And then I love how Tim Russ just shifts his performance into this really like evil Tuvok.
I wonder if Worf's gonna have to rescue Tuvok now too.
And I like that he morphed into Riker, into like tortured Riker at the end too. That was kind of creepy.
Dead Riker. I think zombie Riker.
Oh,
Was it zombie Riker? Oh,
yeah,
I guess it was.
Yeah, he was dead.
So Jack Crusher's telepathic abilities just, to me, seems like they just sprung out of nowhere.
No, that's out of nowhere. It's really dumb. I didn't get that. There's that fight in the middle where he's controlling Sydney, where they're mirroring their actions, and it just kind of didn't work.
no, I think he was controlling her because his eyes went red and then her eyes went red, like he was like taking the wheel, and he was fighting through her.
I don't know. It was confusing because just before the fight started, he was sending her suggestions. Like he was like, "Okay, now roll," and then she rolled. Now turn around, and then she turned around.
No, but
So
before
I think that's all she was doing.
started, his eyes went red. Because I just rewatched it because I wanted to watch that again because I wasn't sure what the hell's going on. But yeah, his eyes turned red, her eyes turned red, and then she starts like roll. It's like karate chop or whatever, karate chop.
It doesn't really bother me. I think it's fine. It's just gonna be like how they explain it,
I think that was what
Yeah,
I hated the most was that they're dragging out the Jack stuff. We still got the mystery box. Now they're adding more stuff to it, and I'm like, just be out with it. And then Vadic's like, "We're gonna take you home. It's so much better to show you.
You know what?
I can't tell you anything.
What's gonna
Like,
happen,
just
right?
Tell us what the fuck is going on."
Patrick Stewart is just gonna sit in a wheelchair and then do this, and then they'll explain that Jack Crusher is really Xavier's son. Okay, so now we get this moral dilemma in the middle of the episode where Picard and Crusher are like, "Are we killers? I guess we are now. Let's kill this." And what do you guys think about that scene?
I feel like they've killed people in the past before like that. This seems to crop up a lot where they have this moral dilemma.
If you're here to persuade me not to use the invasive program.
No. I think I need you to persuade me.
2 days ago, you were so upset about the Borg even being on the ship that you tore my foil out of my hand. And now you're here questioning whether it should be treated as the enemy.
I mean, am I wrong? Maybe that's just like not TNG and other.
I don't think they've
Other series.
ever just murdered people.
Are you sure? I
think
feel like they murder people all the time. They happen to be in ships, but they
Isn't it in Equinox Part 2 where Janeway does she have Captain Ramsey in the holodeck? She's gonna suffocate him, and then Chakotay has to be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Hey, that was Captain
that-
Ransom,
am I-
and it was one of his men that she had in the holodeck or the cargo bay.
ooh, boom.
But yeah, I mean that was different though because they're in the Delta Quadrant. It was two ships, against each other. Starfleet wasn't there to fall back on. They could do the morally ambiguous stuff in Voyager, but I thought we were just talking about Crusher and Picard.
Well, yeah, no. The question is, Namir's question is, has this happened before in Star Trek? And I'm just saying, I think it does.
Yeah, like last season in Picard, the first 2 seasons in Picard, they kill a ton of people.
Elnor is decapitating people left, right, and center.
Well, he's not Starfleet.
Yeah,
He's
it was
allowed
not
to.
even. Yeah, but I know, but they kind of like watch. They don't say anything, right? Picard doesn't say anything. It's like, oh, okay, and then they move on.
Well, I don't think he was happy that he was decapitating people.
Elnor got a scolding.
He did, I believe. Yeah.
Come here, young man.
No, we do not decapitate. No, we maim.
And then Worf is like, "Watch this."
Yeah.
He decapitates 3 people.
How come he
Yeah,
gets to decapitate people and
exactly.
you won't let me? Because it seemed like that was a really
Yeah.
quick decision to decide. Hey, are we going to murder this person? I think we should. That just did not, it did not feel like a Picard and Crusher moment. And I mean, maybe again, this is 20 years of personality changes, but yeah, that didn't feel natural to me. Like the Geordi Data stuff felt really like, yeah, this is these characters. But Crusher and Picard, that did not feel like Crusher and Picard in that moment.
Yeah, normally, like, when you have that type of conversation, it's because you're trying to justify why you're not going to do it, right? Like, because the audience is like, just kill him, right? And so they have this conversation to be like, no, we can't do that. You psychopathic people, because of these reasons, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't do that. They were like, should we kill him?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I think we should.
Because
Yeah,
our next generation hero should be taking the high moral road, you know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They don't do that.
We won't kill today.
It's not just. They just do a reverse Kirk
That was a Kirk, yeah.
quote.
We would choose not to kill. I don't know the quote. It's like, we won't kill today.
Yeah, we won't you, but now you're going, we're going to kill today.
But we're not going to kill today.
That's what Picard did.
Yeah.
Picard is like, well, we are going to kill
yeah,
today.
I see what you're saying, yeah. yeah, exactly. It was,
And Namir's like, what?
I don't know. I'm just going to cut all this out. The real interesting thing is that he doesn't have that iridescent idiotic disease. What is it again?
Idiotic Syndrome.
That's it. He may not have Idiotic Syndrome, right? He may have something in him that I guess created Jack when Picard and
a Borg
Crusher,
cortical node.
I mean,
this?
you know what this is. You know,
Vulcan
30 seconds of this.
Or no, that's Vulcan sex. I think that's Q. That's Q sex, isn't it? When they touch fingers. And this is Vulcan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right,
This
that
would
is
be the same gender. I guess it's something different. this is Picard and Riker. That's what that would be.
Crossing swords.
Fencing.
How old are we? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Well, we're talking about Star Trek. Like, and my bedtime's in 20 minutes, so you know, you figure it out. So, but that's the thing, right? Like, whatever that thing is, like, I'm not gonna be shocked if that big face is just the Borg collective.
I think it's the parasites.
You know, it could be.
I think it's Remick.
You know, they said that, and I was like, holy, Lucas could be right.
No.
Okay, so what do we think are the what are our theories of what's going to happen next? I just realized this is episode 7. There's only 3 more episodes to go before the big finale, the big Frontier Day mumbo jumbo.
Well, probably next week is going to be the episode where we find out Jack's deal. And then episode 9 will be a big confrontation. And then episode 6 will be episode 6. Can't count. Episode 10 will be a nice little epilogue where everybody gets together and they have some Earl Grey tea and maybe play some poker. That's my prediction.
What are your theories, Namir?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the confrontation is going to be on Frontier Day. I think Janeway is going to be there. You know, maybe we'll get some more. Maybe Harry Kim's going to make an appearance. You know, we can hope.
Ensign Harry.
You know, we're going to have a couple more. Ensign Harry. We can have a couple more cameos. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You know, I think I can't figure out who the big bad is. Like, I can't figure out who the floating gooey face skeleton is.
Sela. I'm still going with Sela on this. I'm still convinced it's Sela and the Romulans.
I hope we're going to see Sela, because that's one thing that we haven't wrapped up. I was thinking the other day about all the things that haven't been wrapped up, and I was thinking maybe it's the AI little weapons from Arsenal of Freedom that are coming back to get revenge on Picard. It could also be the silicon life forms on in from home soil.
It's the crystalline entity
like,
on your bingo card.
It's mostly water. Yeah.
The crystalline entity that should be on the bingo card.
No, it got destroyed. It got destroyed.
That's right,
but I
it
guess
got
it could be the
shattered.
crystal entity's sister or brother, or a father or somebody or some relative that's really pissed off. It could also really be Carnass. You know. You guys are like, what? Who?
I know who you're talking about.
From, from that planet.
Why? That guy must be like 130 now.
You're talking the oil guy, the guy made the.
Oh no,
Armis,
that's
yeah.
totally what it could be.
Armis.
It could be Armis.
Could be Armis.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned that I thought it could be Armis, and I would love it to be Armis. Was the face.
Oh, that would be Armis, yeah.
Could you imagine?
No, it can't be somebody too obscure, right? Because it's got to be like people watching it. Casual viewers will have to be like, "Oh, it's them! I can't believe they brought this, the parasites from Conspiracy back. Oh my god!"
Yeah, I'm putting all my money on the conspiracy parasite.
It's the Ferengi.
You're gonna lose your house. It's a
Maybe it's Bach again. This is the second time trying to trick Picard with a son he never knew he had. It almost worked the first time. I'd probably give this one I'd still give it a 7, I think, because there was a lot of good stuff, but it's definitely a step down from what I've seen already, so. But it's still better than anything I probably saw other than episode 2 of last season, so. I still liked it, just not as much.
Namir.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6 because it's.
I knew you were gonna give it a 6.
Did you?
Yeah, because your whatever your rating was, gonna have to be one below what Alan's was.
Is that how we've been working things?
Maybe subconsciously.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really like this episode. There were parts of it I liked, but as a whole, I didn't. It really felt like it was kind of filler, right? So I'm not, I didn't want to watch this episode. I want to watch the next one.
I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10. It's almost an 8. It's almost as good as all the other ones. There's a few things after this conversation I had with you guys. I feel like it went down in my estimation a little bit, but generally, I'm having a good time. I think the writing is still good. The moments are still good. I think kind of what they could have done is, I think the last episode was the one where they brought back Laforge. It was so jam-packed with so much stuff and so many references. They could have sprinkled some of that into this episode, and then we would have had 2 8 episodes instead of 8 and a 7. Because this episode was like the episode where they figured they were running out of money and they needed to save money for the last episode because it's going to be the big finale, and they had to go what are we going to do? And let's just shoot the whole episode on one set, and that kind of made it a 7. So,
yeah. Can you imagine for those actors what that would have been like? Just like 10 days of them running back and forth down halls.
Short hauls. Short
I know
sections of
that
hauls.
that was another thing that bugged me about this episode too, was the fact that it's so dimly lit already, and now they're powered down the ship, and it's even harder to see what the hell's going on. Some of those fight scenes in the hallway, I'm like, what's going on? Oh, who's that? Oh, are they, what? It felt like I was watching the Night King battle from Game of Thrones, where I was like, I have no idea what's going on. It's so dark.
I'm a little sad about that there's only 3 episodes left, but I've been enjoying it so much, so I can't be too angry.
No.
Okay, so that was our review of episode 7, The Dominion. Catch us next week for the review of episode 8.
And subscribe,
this
motherfucker.
Episode is better.